Lindsay Lohan claims her abusive Russian toyboy ex is a lazy layabout who is flat broke and says she even had to buy her own engagement ring. The troubled star, 30, says property tycoon Edgar Tarabasavi's jet-set lifestyle is funded entirely by his wealthy businessman father and claims she paid for everything during their toxic relationship. Lohan alleges that Edgar, 23, beat her during their tumultuous 11 months together, and says she hid the truth about paying for her £820,000 emerald engagement ring to spare her former fiancé's embarrassment. Lindsay Lohan has branded her Russian toyboy ex a lazy layabout in her interview on Russian TV, and even claimed she had to pay for her own engagement ring. Pictured the troubled Mean Girls star claims that she paid for everything during her 11-month relationship with Russian toyboy Edgar, pictured, and even bought her own engagement ring. Lohan added that the property mogul's jet-set, yacht-tripping lifestyle was funded entirely by his wealthy father, who owns a number of Russian transport companies. Related articles. Previous 1-2. Next, I was terrified. Head throw acid in my face. Lindsay Lohan. Tarabasavi denies the harmful and false claims and no charges have been brought against him. In an emotional interview on Russian television, she said, "He does not have money. What could I do? We lived in my home. I paid for everything. His father paid for many things, but mainly I was paying. But it was a mistake. I should have said to him, do something, I can't do everything alone. I am a 30-year-old woman and I was supporting a guy who didn't work." Lohan alleged that during their well-publicized rose Edgar beat her and alleged that she covered up the bruises. "I feel I was used," she said. "It is the first time I am in such a relationship when I was beaten. It is painful for me. I don't want it. I am not a victim, I am a strong person. I should have stopped it when the first signs came. But it is very hard for me to say goodbye. I feel quite uncomfortable about the last few months with Edgar. Would you feel normal with bruises on your legs? That was really hard for me." She went on, "For some time I was thinking he was a good man. I feel ashamed to confess that my logical mind switched off. I used to say forgive me the next morning because I wanted to have peace. This is how I became one more beaten woman who is scared to confess it." The erratic star added, "I am a 30-year-old woman and I was supporting a guy who didn't work." Pictured, Lohan with Edgar during happier times before they split in July. Born and raised in Moscow, Tarabasavi is the son of a successful Russian businessman who owns several transport companies. He is listed as the boss of a London property company, Home House Estates, and shareholder in a Moscow bank, but Lohan claims he has no significant wealth. A former wild child, Lohan is well known for her erratic off-screen behavior, partying, and has spent time in rehab. In May 2007 she was arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol, and in July the same year the wayward star was arrested again, this time for possession of cocaine, driving under the influence and driving with a suspended license. She got engaged to Edgar, 7 years her junior, last September following a whirlwind romance, and initially said she liked that he was not a public figure. Lohan said, "When I lived in Los Angeles, I was constantly under the attention of journalists. I could not go out, I did not live, did not move. I had been sitting at home all day through, like I was the loneliest person in the world." Tarabasavi denies harmful allegations. "It has come to my attention that my former fiancé, copyright, Lindsay Lohan, is planning a new smear campaign against me in the Russian and international media. My relationship with Lindsay came to an end in July 2016. In the weeks that followed, there were numerous attempts to discredit my name by inaccurately portraying the nature of our relationship, publishing distorted facts, and making false accusations. I decided not to address those harmful and false statements at that time. As an international businessman, I aim to maintain a low profile and concentrate on developing my business. I also chose to keep my silence out of respect for Lindsay. Today, I would like to state that all accusations made, and about to be made, by Lindsay against me are not true. I refuse to be dragged into the media storm created in the aftermath of our breakup. I will not be making any more statements with regards to my former relationship with Lindsay, but I will use all possible legal means to protect my name and reputation." Despite being listed as the boss of a London property company and a shareholder of a Moscow bank, Lohan claims Tarabasavi both pictured his flat broke abuse The Hollywood star also claims Tara Basavi pictured on a boat with Lohan beat her during their relationship and she hid the bruises. Her former fiancé has denied all of her claims. Then I moved to London, my life got better, I met Edgar and gave him all of myself. And as a result it just has ruined me. I became very weak, insecure and very scared. She first met Edgar in the company of friends in London, then saw him again on Mykonos, Greece, and again in London. Everything was very relaxed, she said. He was a very charming, very attractive young man, very open and honest. But initially there was no information on who he is. It was strange. Lohan said, nobody really knew I was living in London. Suddenly everyone got to know about it. And it was all because of the very man. She claimed he liked attention, saying he was very excited about it, that they were writing about a Russian guy, a multimillionaire who is with Lindsay Lohan now. My life in London was so private and this guy who proposed to me just betrays me for the sake of publicity. She said Edgar hadn't apologized to her and says his parents, who she still loves, spoiled their son. She said, I love his parents but they have taken very easily what he had done. Does hitting a woman mean nothing? Lohan says her toxic relationship with Tara Basavi ruined her, adding, I became very weak, insecure and very scared. Lohan told of how she hid the fact she paid for her emerald engagement ring pictured to spare her fiancé embarrassment. Lohan told chat show host Andrew Malakho Center, I feel I was used, she said. It is the first time I am in such a relationship. When I was beaten, it is painful for me. I don't want it. I am not a victim, I am a strong person. I was silent for a long time. It hurts so much. He should have apologized at least. To say, I have done the I think. Sorry. She told Kremlin-owned Channel 1 TV that the death knell came during a row on the balcony of her £3 million home in London in July. I was at home, I was sleeping, he broke into the house, he was drunk and began to strangle me, she said. I jumped out to the balcony, I was shouting. He is trying to kill me, call the police, anybody. 2 people filmed it and called police. Looking ahead, she said, I have 2 options. Either to be a victim, to sit and to feel sorry for myself, or you can go above the situation and help other people, admit what had happened and benefit from it. Share your experience. If a person can hit somebody once, he can hit again and again, if not me then somebody else. Such way of expressing your anger is scary. But now his life is only his life. Lohan got engaged to toyboy Edgar last September following a whirlwind romance and initially liked that he was not a public figure. But the pair had a number of public falling outs. The couple had an ill-fated holiday on Mykonos in Greece when they were pictured grappling over a mobile phone. It was just one of a number of rows they had before splitting in August. I hope to help every girl who found herself in a similar situation and needs support. She even found time to attack her father, Michael, for siding with Tara Basavi, saying my father and Edgar have been in touch all this time, and this is why I am not communicating with him. Now single, Lohan admits she has had problems finding the right partner, saying, it is very pleasant when you feel safe with someone who is not a public figure, who doesn't use Twitter or Instagram to draw the wide public attention. Share your comment on this article.